We're back with our guest experts, and they're going to answer audience questions about how women help women through mentoring. Now, if it's confusing at all to you, you should know that this is a relatively new system that's happening with women, and it has to do with the workforce and what men have always had by doing men's clubs, and they socialize together. Now we women are starting to do it, and we're going to help each other because we're going to become CEOs, ladies. That's what this is about. Now, would you stand up, please? Tell us your name.
Gloria Horowitz.
Hi, Gloria. What's your question?
My question is, what does a woman of 45 to 50 do when she's re-entering the workforce with a college degree and some sort of common sense experience? I feel there's no place in the world for this kind of a woman. She has no place to go.
You're exactly right.
She starts as a typist or a secretary, and she stays there for 5 years.
Well, we're trying to increase the awareness of the existence of these executive women's clubs so that you can pick up the phone and call them, and they will put you in touch with other women who may have been in your same position and yet got themselves into the corporate world and now are working. And that's just exactly the point we're trying to make.
So you're talking about networking, right? Exactly. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to help you move
and you
ahead.
Make an appointment to see that, and you make an appointment to see that person and come in, as Helen's students have come in to see me, and sit down and speak to them. And they, of course, will pass their ideas on to you. And, of course, two heads work better than one.
Now, how will Gloria find a mentor?
I would like to say that Gloria has a network of some sort. We all have a network of some sort. We have family, we have neighbors, our neighbors have friends who have friends who have friends who have friends, we have relatives, we have dentists,
She's
we have
shaking
doctors.
her head no.
Those people know other people.
And what I learned through my mentor is that I'm not too anxious to go into what she's doing, but she knows people that can, you know, have my interests and then work with that.
In other words, we should get also aggressive about asking and making ourselves go to someone and say, okay, now, I need a little help. Can you help me? Try it.
Exactly.
Try
What about your alumni association?
Can you stand up? Oh, that's a good idea. Alumni Association, Gloria. Tell me your name.
Linda.
Hi, Linda. Oh, I like the name. Very nice. Yes, we'll talk later.
All right.
What's your question?
I was wondering, I work at a large law firm in New York City, and there aren't very many female partners there, so there are very few role models for me. And I was wondering how I could maybe align myself with one of the few that are there without alienating myself from my peers.
Do you belong to a professional association of women lawyers?
No, I don't.
There you go. That's your first step.
I have to see if one's out there.
Yeah. Now, this isn't something you look up in a phone book.
Well,
Can you?
You could try. You could try through the Bar Association, perhaps, to see if indeed there are such organizations. You may want to see, in some law firms, there are formal mentoring programs.
Okay.
Also in some small corporations, some large corporations, these exist. And it's usually through your personnel, human resources people that something can be developed, if you can let it be known.
Good?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. A gentleman, please stand. Tell me your name.
Carmine.
Hi, Carmine. What's your question?
Hi, I'd like to ask, you mentioned before that men are allowed to participate in your program. Are there any preventive measures taken so that this program doesn't turn into the old boys club, as was stated earlier?
It's not that there's anything terribly wrong with the old boys network. The problem was that women were excluded.
Yeah.
Now it's in everybody's network. And a male student can benefit, certainly, from the program more consciously, going about looking for work in his field as women. But women had nothing at the beginning. That's the difference.
Which is terrible. It's
Thank
better
you.
this way.
How very nice. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Well, girls, here's someone available. We'll talk later.
Thank you.
Could you stand up for me? How does one become a mentor, by the way?
Well, do you want to?
Well, in my circumstance, I was an informal mentor just by the nature of my work. However, I was contacted by Helen one day and told her I would be more than happy to speak with one of her students, and I became a mentor.
Okay. Your name?
Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Hi.
What's your question?
Okay. When I started work, I had a mentor. I still do, as a matter of fact, same woman. And it was a very beneficial experience. And what I want to know is, for future people or whatever, I would like to do the same for them. I just don't want to make it seem like I'm playing favorites in the office. And I wonder how I can avoid that.
Well, that's a good question. And the time comes when you do want to give back what you've been able to enjoy.
Is that because we're nurturers by trade, really, women? We want to give back?
Perhaps so.
Perhaps. I know that for me, I went to a very progressive preparatory school that was all girls, and that was, you know, that was understood. Everybody would help each other, and we would all go out there and be whatever we wanted to be without any limitations nor competition from men. And so I'm grateful that I can give back what I've learned in these last years.
Okay. You know, thank you, Beth. Thank you. Good luck. Do that. Try. See, let us know. The reason I say let us know is that we talked before the show, and we talked in depth about this, and we said that we would offer to you watching, and you and our audience, that if you are interested in mentoring and you want to find out more information, or you need to find out how to find your own mentor, write to us here at Attitudes. We will then take your letter and try and get it to the proper person, and maybe what we can do is start our own little networking from Attitudes and start to help one another as women. I think that would be a lovely thing. We want to hear from you, so please write to us. Let us know how you're doing, and give us any ideas, and we'll pass it on the show. And perhaps you ladies will come back at some point, and we'll sift through our letters, and we'll get some action going, and we'll become CEOs here. That's the trick. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks, audience. Appreciate it. Dee?
Coming up next, from fruit bowl hats to banana shoes, we'll show you the latest, fruitiest fashions around. Don't go away.